Namaste and a warm welcome on behalf of the President of CAHO, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, Secretary General, Dr. Lalu Joseph, CAHO Vice President and Organizing Chairman, CAHOTECH, Mr. Sameer Mehta, Organizing Secretary, Mr. Radel, and myself, Dr. Anna George, Kerala State Representative, CAHO. Very warm welcome to the honorable guests, delegates, and speakers to Day 5 of CAHOTECH 2020. CAHOTECH is a platform for healthcare organizations and technology to share and utilize combined experiences to guide themselves continuously towards more efficient practices utilizing technological development. We have Mr. Ramadurai, Chairman Advisory Board, Tata Strive, as our chief guest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the theme for Day 5 is Next Generation Healthcare for India, Swasth Bharat. Today's session chair is Mr. Som Mittal, former President and Chairman, NASSCOM. Mr. Mittal completed his graduation from IIT Kanpur and post-graduation from IIM Ahmedabad. He has held senior corporate leadership roles for over 3 decades in companies such as Wipro, Digital, Compact, and HP, with more than 40 years of global experience across diverse industries. Mr. Mittal has served as a member of the Prime Minister's Committee on National E-Governance and was the chairman of the Advisory Council to develop the IT vision for Indian Railways. He's one of the chief architects for nurturing CAHOTECH, which has become a credible and unique platform to bring technology and healthcare together. It is my pleasure and privilege to invite you, sir, Mr. Som Mittal, to chair today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anna, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our delegates, speakers around the world to this 5th and final day of CAHOTECH 2020. Over the last 4 days, we have had a wonderful exposure of what technology can do to whether it is telemedicine or the big changes that are happening in learning and skilling, the breakthrough innovation due to technology, and more importantly, how hospitals are rapidly changing and evolving due to technology. We have also had an amazing response to the many, many tech startups that exist, and we were overwhelmed when the hospitals came up and shared with us about the innovations that are already happening. It seems that with all the problems that we have had with COVID, I think technology got its own boost in terms of its own adoption. These are very important building blocks, but the question still remains that for a country of India's size and complexity, how will we tie up all these elements end to end? How would we ensure that we have healthcare which is accessible, safe, and affordable? How do we take all the success stories that we have already had, all the several successful pilots, and many of the proof of concepts, and how do we ensure that we make it happen in a reasonable time? So this time, CAHOTECH's focus has been and will be on how do we get things going and making it happen. The sessions will focus on how and when rather than what and why, which has already been done before. Government has announced many path-breaking initiatives on how we can combine them all and make them a reality. And we're very, very delighted that as we were planning and curating the 5th day, we were able to get many of the movers and shakers of the healthcare industry. There are all the 4 days that we had many more movers and shakers, but today we have people who are going to play a big role on making it happen. We have really the session ahead divided into 3 parts. First part, we have about the government plans that are there, and the Prime Minister recently announced the NDHM. Again, the focus here would be on, we've all been through the NDHM and the NHA and their objectives, but how are we going to roll them out, and how do we, we also have speakers who are telling us how it was achieved elsewhere. The second panel is really on ensuring that we don't leave anything between the cracks, and we have some amazing people on the panel as well. And lastly, the valedictory. We're very delighted that Mr. Ramadurai, who is the chairman also of the Public Health Foundation of India, would be addressing us.